Hello parents, this is Dayna. Today I'm going to touch on how we should tune our mindset to handle situations after our child is diagnosed to be on the autism spectrum. Besides always telling parents to shove away denial after a label was given to the child, I also like to emphasize that we have to be mentally very prepared. This is going to be a marathon. It is not a short-term project that many of us would hope it to be. I find it quite typical for newly diagnosed parents to go around comparing the child with other kids on the spectrum and check on the plausible outcome of their child in a few years, as in what's going to happen to my child. Oh, so your child was he behaving like this and like that. As a matter of fact, every child learns differently. As the child grows and mature, he will keep improving and he would have different level of needs and issues at different stage of his learning and development. And this is applying to all children and they are all different. Any typical child will have issues too, but SEN, special education needs parents just have more complex issues usually. Our autistic kids are not less, and they are just different, and they learn and behave differently because they process information differently. They learn differently because they cannot respond to a lot of auditory instructions as well. And most of them are visual learners, which I always mention in all my videos. It is very important how parents handle each and every hurdle we come across as we face it. I know and can understand how difficult it is to face negative situations positively, especially when it's also affecting us emotionally a lot. But if we can take on a more lighthearted attitude to most of the issues, things can be a lot less heavier for us. This may sound easier than done. I have personally adopted such mindset throughout the last 15 years from day one after I diagnosed my child. Whenever I have to handle tricky situations, including some violence and lots of embarrassing public situations, I think it's more important that I tune my mindset because I cannot control how other people or the public view and judge. Now, there was once I received a call from school to inform that my child was kicking and grabbing his assistant teacher, who is also known as a shadow teacher. And the assistant teacher was very disturbed and actually decided to quit that very day at that instance. However, instead of getting upset with how the teacher reacted, I like to tackle issues and analyze the situation and then come up with solutions instead of brooding over the matter. In particular to this situation, I understand my child is probably trying to test the limit of the new assistant teacher. This is quite a common behavior for young children, and especially for kids on the spectrum. Now, from that, I've learned to prep him better daily in the morning and before any new events or new teachers or therapists that's going to work with him. So that's back to, again, prepping them, talking to them, showing visuals, and let them know what's expected. This helps him to regulate a lot better. And if there's some violent behavior, it can be disturbing and difficult for both parents and school to handle. I have to repeat the rules and consequences to my child non-stop, whether be it before school, after school, with lots of praising if he is controlling himself well, and find a way for him to control just before he executes a violent action. Maybe squeezing a stress ball or teaching him to clench his fists to release his stress and tension would help. A positive mindset leads to a positive future. This is Dayna from daynalim.com. Remember to subscribe to my channel and press the subscribe bell for the latest video.